came from across the Bay Area to celebrate with us as well. One of the rabbinic icons of the last generations was Rabbi Yasher Ber, Rabbi Yosef Dov Soloveitchik. In one of his lectures, Rabbi Soloveitchik was the Rosh Yeshiva of Yeshiva University of YU. And in one of his lectures, he shared the following story from his youth. When he was about 8 years old, he attended a little cheder, which is like a one-room Jewish school on the border of Belarus and Russia. And his teacher happened to be a Chabad Chassid. On one winter day that Rabbi Soloveitchik, an 8-year-old boy, was learning and studying with his Rabbi, with his teacher, they were up to the story in the Torah of Joseph and his brothers. As they were reading in the verses the narrative of Joseph as he was disguised as the viceroy of Egypt, and his brothers didn't yet know who he was. And the question Yosef asks them is, Hayesh lachem av? Do you have a father? And as they're reading that verse, the teacher keys in on that verse. Hayesh lachem av. He motioned for the young Soloveitchik boy to stop reading. And he asked Yasher Ber Soloveitchik, in a booming voice, he challenged him. What type of question is Yosef asking his brothers? Hayesh lachem av. Do you have a father? Every single person has a father. The only people in history who didn't have a father was Adam and Eve. What type of question is Hayesh lachem av? To which the young Soloveitchik boy answered that Yosef meant to ask, is your father alive? But that's not what he asked. The teacher responded. He said, do you have a father? So the boy didn't know the answer. And the teacher continued. And he said, my dear, dear children, Joseph was not asking about their father's physical presence. Because of course he had a father. He was asking about his father's spiritual presence in his life. He was not asking about literal parents in their biological sense. He was asking about conceptual parents in their existential sense. Are you rooted in your parents? That's what Yosef was asking his brothers. Do you look at your parents like branches would look at a tree? Do you see them as the foundation of your existence? Do you carry the traditions of your parents? Is the spirit, is the ruach of your father apparent within you? Are you proud of your parents? Do you acknowledge that there is so much more that you can and must learn from your parents and from the parents before them? Hayesh lachem av. Does the spirit of the generations past occupy a rightful place in your life? And that is not just a question that Joseph was asking to his brothers thousands of years ago, because everything in the Torah is timeless. It's a question we ought to ask ourselves. And Levi, as you celebrate today, the 11th of Cheshvan, your bar mitzvah, that is the question that the Torah is asking of you today. Are you ready to carry the mantle that your parents have, that your grandparents have, going all the way back to Abraham, the first Jew? I would like to also invoke the memory of my father of blessed memory, who I have no doubt is with us celebrating today, and the ancestors, all of our ancestors of our family celebrating from heaven. Levi, when you're walking down the street, can people see that you are a child of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? In our 3-mile walk that we used to do from our house off of San Marin to our shul right here, and previously on Redwood, people would roll down their window, wish us Shabbat Shalom, Good Shabbos, and there was once a 5-year-old boy, Levi, I'm not sure if you remember or if you were walking with me and Yossi at the time, but he asked if I was Abraham Lincoln. So over here I'm talking about the original Abraham, when you're walking on the street. And when we first moved to town, we were doing a lot of shopping, a lot of schlepping from Costco, Trader Joe's, Safely. We were all over the place. And when I was at Trader Joe's, there was two women that came up to me, and they start conversation by saying, I hear there's a large Hasidic community moving to Novato. And the other woman answered, no, it's the same guy, you're just seeing him all over. But Levi, in 1929, the Rabbi wrote a letter to his own cousin, who was celebrating his bar mitzvah. And in that letter, the Rebbe in Rishimais, the Rebbe points out that in Jewish law, in halacha, the bar mitzvah day, even though in the Zohar, it's called the Chatan bar mitzvah, but according to Jewish law, it's not considered a holiday. It's not like a Shabbat. It's not like a Chag. It's a regular day. So the Rebbe asks in this letter that he penned to his cousin, why is a bar mitzvah different? This is the day we're celebrating your full godly nefesh ha'elikis, your godly soul coming into your body. The day that you're a full-fledged part of Klal Yisrael. So the Rebbe answers, because adulthood is not a party, and life is not a vacation. Yes, we celebrate, but it's a day of work. It's not a day of holiday. The world is a world of action, the Rebbe writes. And it's a place to work. Adam, Lama Yivale, man was born to toil, as it says in Eov, to make a difference and to bring Hashem's light into our world. Or to quote the famous 2nd century sage Rabbi Tarfon, who writes, Hayom Katzer v'Amlacha Meruba. The days of our lives are short, and there's lots of work to be done. And in fact, every day, 3 times a day, in every Amidah, we begin with saying Elokeinu v'Elokei Avoseinu, our God and God of our fathers. Till now, Levi, it has been the God of our fathers, Elokei Avoseinu. But today, your bar mitzvah day, it becomes Elokeinu, our God, my God. From today, Levi, it is time for you to take the baton, for you to take the mantle of Torah and to run your lap. Mommy and I will be there every step of the way, God willing, till 120, to watch you and to be your parents. And your grandparents, Babi and Zaidi and Safta, will be there with you as well. But this is your time to shine, to join the ranks and to make a difference. Mommy and I have watched you grow with your brilliance, your sharp mind, your deep questions, your funny comments, your wit, your wisdom, your easygoing personality, always ready to help with your younger siblings, or in the community to set up shul, to clean up from an event, to be the chazan, and the long list of responsibilities. Levi, you are a Made in California 2025 chassid of the Rebbe.